Well, we're going to talk about what's so hard about getting that golden letter. Most of us girls call it the golden letter, the green light letter, um, you know, the grand prize, if you want to call it. It allows you to get your, it's a letter from a psychiatrist, usually, which basically states that you are a candidate to receive or to have SRS or GRS, which is sexual reassignment surgery or gender reassignment surgery, sex change simply. I mean, you wouldn't think it was so hard. I mean, if you meet like what common practice is international, which is basically 12 months being on the hormones, your body being acceptance, and your mind being acceptance of what you're doing, to live that role or gender which you choose or which you believe you are for more than 1 year, to have the financial abilities to have a sex change or SRS or GRS, whatever. We just call it GRS, right? It's easier. And to have a full-time job for 12 months or have an employment for 12 months as well. So basically I want you to assume a female gender totally in every way. Well, that's not really that hard. In some respects it is. It's not that easy. Well, it isn't. It's parts. It's a learning curve, like anything in life. But, you know, I've, over the last, since November of 2010, really, that's really, basically when I re-emerge into the transgender community, is the easiest way of putting it. I've seen and met many girls, ladies, and it's come to light, like, general consensus the population's around 70% don't get that operation. And, wow, 70%? Seems extremely high odds. Why would over 70% of people who choose to live the gender they feel inside themselves not be able to adapt or have that final completion? What would cause 70% of the population not to do that? Well, then you start thinking about it. Well, one, maybe the fear of the operation. That's a possibility. So even, right off of 10-20% for that, maybe. So still it is down to 50%. You still got to adjust for what would cause 50%. Well, so you can write off another 20%, say, because they just sexually don't want to do it. They want to keep that appendage or organ or penis or cock, whatever you want to call it, or vagina, which depend on which they are, male or female, male. It gets complicated. But who choose not to do it. So it still leaves a number in there. Why? Why is it still so high? I mean, come on. Why does it take our Australian doctors, not just a short period of time, and I'm not saying every case is the same, okay? There is some cases where they fast track it. I mean, I have heard it. It's not uncommon. But why would there still be such a high number of 70% don't get that operation? There's just no practical reason for it. Not to keep someone going for years. I mean, if they've been on hormones for a year and they've got a job and they're living their life and everything, there's not much more they can do to justify their justifying getting that letter. What else can they do? I mean, they're human beings. They're doing the minimum, and in most cases, these girls are beyond minimum, way beyond minimum. I mean, when you see these girls who have been years and years on HRT and still not getting that operation because they haven't got that letter, or they have been seeing psychiatrists and therapists for such a period of time that it's basically depleted their money to the extent where they can't afford to have that operation, it starts raising some questions. It really does. So I just think doctors should really look into themselves and wonder whether they're doing their job, and whether they're doing their job for the well-being of those people, or whether they're doing it for financial gain. Because, it's just ridiculous. maybe this come about more so because of the malice action of a doctor who didn't like being told that he was sacked and that he was unprofessional in his manner, and that I believe his practices of what he's doing is a form of blackmail. I mean, I'm pretty straightforward with my words. I don't beat around the bush. I mean, if you don't like what I say, take me to court and sue me if you think you're good enough and you can prove your basis for your allegations, and you're quite well entitled to do so. And I'm quite well entitled and the ability to defend myself in that manner. You know, to take malice actions in writing a letter with incorrect facts, incorrect assumptions, to make statements which have no basis, and the only intent you could perceive by the wording of the letter and the way it is written is of a malice action of a person who didn't know the person they were talking about, and their only intentions was to either impede or disrupt that person's choice to do what they're doing. That's an easy way to put it. In straight out Aussie language, you tried to fuck me up and you didn't, and you won't. I'm sorry that I had to say that. I mean, I don't let people stand in my way. If I choose an action or a principle or an honour, something I have in my heart, I'll do it to the maximum, and I'll do it very well, and I'll achieve what I want to achieve before I'm happy to let it go. And what you saw, Dr. L. Lyons, should I say Dr. Lyons, is you saw an open, truthful person with nothing to hide, spilled right in front of you. You couldn't comprehend it. It's too overwhelming for your small mind to understand that someone could have a lifestyle, live the life I've lived, done what I've done, and still want to be a transgender person. Well, I'm sorry, you have a problem with that. You should really not be so malice in your actions, with such cruel intent to write such an evil, nasty, stupid letter, because you really should have had idiot after your name instead of all those letters, because to write what you did is only an idiot would do so. To do it to someone's doctor who has treated that person for over 30 odd years, who knows everything about that person, every little tiny way you could think of, which would be a psychiatrist's dream. You're wrong. I mean, yeah, that's all to say. So anyway, it's a sad life. Do I like this video? It's not bad. We'll send it. Enjoy, people.